Okay, for those of you who really wanted to dig deep on this, I decided to go a little further and talk about advanced chord types. Now, I said at the beginning of our chord video that there are also 5, 6, and 7 note chords that we use in music. Now, I'm going to go over the 9 chord, okay? So this is the first 5 degrees of the major scale played. And that's just the major 9, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Now, that's a really cool chord. It's a really cool sound. Another one you might have heard is the sharp 9, the dominant sharp 9. Kind of the Jimi Hendrix chord, if you will. Let's hear that one. There we go. So that chord has been used in a lot of funk music. It's the chord from Purple Haze. It's used in Voodoo Child. It's a really cool chord, little complex. It's just a 1, 3, 5, flat 7, and a sharp 9. Now, when I say 9, what I mean is, with jazz, we're going to move with the jazz chord system. We're going to add in this second octave, okay? Now, instead of, we're just going to continue the number series. Now, we don't use the 8th note, because that's the octave. There's no difference in tension. There's no real difference in sound. But what we're going to do is, we name the degrees of the scale, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. So we'll get into 13 chords in just a second and how those are used, but that is those are 9 chords. Now you also might have a flat 9, a dominant flat 9. So that's a 1, 3, 5, flat 7, flat 9. There's your dominant 9 chord. There's the dominant flat 9. Really cool sounding chord. Used a lot, again, jazz, funk rock. So, really cool sound. Now, the last of these kind of complicated chords that I'm going to play are the 4 and 5 note chords. I'm going to play you a sharp 11 chord, okay? Now, there are many more chord types than this, but I'm just going to play this one because that's just this really rich character. And it's going to lead into another talk we're going to have about modal music. So I like to go as deep into this stuff as possible, and I don't feel like you have to know all of this stuff. You really don't. But if you want to know about it, I'm more than ready to tell you and help you learn it. So what this chord has is the 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and sharp 11. And the sharp 11 is much more, you're not really going to hear the standard 11 chord because it has this sound. It just kind of clashes, which is, if you think about it, all of these notes are made by repeating the C major scale. So that 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Why doesn't 11 sound right? That's kind of funny. It's because the 4th degree of the C major scale kind of clashes. All the other notes of the C major scale, if you play a C major chord, all sound fine. Now we play that F, the 4 of the C major scale over top of a C major chord, and this is what happens. Now in passing, it's fine. You just can't land on that sucker without it sounding nasty. So that we sharp that 4 or 11, here in this case the octave up called the 11, and we sharp that 4 and 11 and all of a sudden it doesn't clash anymore. And then you can play the 13, no problem, because that note doesn't clash. So the sharp 11 chord kind of makes up for that clashing 4, that clashing 11 sound by raising the note 1/2 step. So those are the complex chords. I'm going to do a little bit more on 13 chords and how those work in the next video series. Again, this is very advanced. If this isn't stuff that you really care about and you want to know about, skip right over it. That's fine. But all right, I will see you at the next video.